I want you to imagine this. It's a Saturday night. You're coming home from work. You think, oh, I'm gonna shower and go to bed after I eat my food. You eat the food, your brother's chilling downstairs with his girlfriend and they're about to watch anime. And his girlfriend is like, you should come watch with us. And I'm like, why not? What could go wrong? Now, imagine you take her offer. What you guys watch is probably one of the greatest pieces of fiction you have ever watched. You spend multiple hours of your life watching something that you consider to be absolute peak in greatness. Something that literally almost makes you cry. It is a multiple 20-minute episodes of just absolute peak fiction. Something you cannot even barely look away from because it is just that good. Bathroom breaks need to be regulated because of how good what you're watching is. And imagine you spend multiple hours of your life and in the end you get the biggest blue ball you've ever had in history. Takopi's Original Sin is a manga that was written and illustrated by Tazen5 and it went from December 2021 to March of 2022 in Shonen Jump Plus. And the story follows this stupid looking octopus that is named Takopi, and he comes from super happy duper land, which sounds absolutely stupid, but it is what it is. And he meets this little 4th grader named Kuze Shizuka, and she's like all like battered up, she's like depressed, and the story is basically just Takopi trying to make her life better because she's being bullied by a certain Marina, you know. Not gonna. But his attempts don't work because she kills herself, which is dark AF, but you know, I vibed with it. That was crazy how they just boom, they just went and done that. But he has a little like camera thing and you rotate it and you insert the picture and boom, you can time travel now. This is some ReZero stuff, bro. Some ReZero. So now Takopi has to find a way to get rid of Marina in order to make Shizuka's life happier. And as he spends more time with Shizuka, he learns more about humans and how they function, and not 100% why they do the things they do, but more so they just do things. Takopi doesn't know why, but Takopi just knows that they do stuff. Like when he took the place of Shizuka and he got his butt kicked. Takopi isn't it. Holy shambles. I messed up. Anyways, so eventually Takopi kills Marina and it makes Shizuka happy. So then then Takopi's like, we'll live with that. And then this stupid simp motherfucker, Azuma Naoki, he comes over and he's like, yo, this is murder. And Shizuka's like, please. And he's like, bet, we're gonna hide her body. Like, oh my goodness, dude, what was he doing? Then this buster devises a plan. Takopi is gonna shapeshift into Marina and just act as her. So then nothing looks suspicious. Okay, I forgot to mention she dies, but you know, if you're watching this video, you should have known that. Okay, anyways, so Marina dies. Takopi has to take her place, and then Takopi just chills in her household, and then we see why she acts the way she does. She calls Shizuka a parasite because that's what her dad calls her mom, and of course she's on mommy's side. Takopi, after spending a long time, or probably just a couple days as Marina, finally learns and understands why she is the way she is. She's abused and she's taking it out on someone else. Her frustrations, she's taking it out on someone else. She's projecting, and she realized that she took away someone's life. She took away someone's family member, someone who had a future ahead of them. Did I say she? Oh my god, Takopi took that away. Yo, guys, I'm in shambles. We need to pause for a bit. I am in shambles. It's an it's, but I hate that. It's because I'm almost molding as much as I did when I watched that ending, dude. You have no idea. Then we move on to this motherfucker Azuma Naoki, okay? This little baby bum. He has like big boy, like, okay, this is gonna sound awful, but compared to the other two, bro is barely suffering, okay? Bro is like what did he have, a PlayStation 4 or something like that? Bro was living the life. Anyways, I get, well, okay, maybe verbal and mental abuse is just as bad as physical. Maybe I'm coping, but I disagree. Anyways, this bro is... He's getting mentally abused. His mom is like a prick for some reason, and he has this like big expectation just on his shoulders for no reason. And he put it there, by the way. And then his brother made it even worse by being like, oh yeah, I'm good at everything, and I barely stop. I stopped trying, and I'm still good at everything I do. And pancakes. Now I understand the significance of the pancakes, but I'm not here to yap about no pancakes. Okay. Ambrose wants and desires to just be better than his brother and do something good, culminated in him just willingly helping Shizuka, just because she's all he has, technically speaking, because she knows that he's the only one that will reach out to her. So she's taking advantage of that. I don't know if she knows, but bro's like, yeah, I'm the only one. Like, it's kind of narcissistic, but bro thinks he has something that no one else in his family has. His brother can't help, his mom can't help, only him. So he feels useful. He feels like he can do something and accomplish something to help someone in need. But before he does something stupid and turns himself in because he's like level 100 simp behavior, his brother talks to him and doesn't talk down. He talks at his level and he tells him that he's here for him. When Azuma thinks that all Kuze has is him, all Azuma has is his brother. His brother is there for him, and he gives him a reality check that he so desperately needed. The pancakes he was chasing after, they sucked. They sucked balls. Hot garbage. The cold, stale, crusty pancakes. And bro was crying and whiffing over nothing. And then he had his brain break that was like, yeah, you know, the glasses mom bought for me, they suck now. And I just didn't want to tell her. Why not? What? So yeah, bro, he grew 18 brain cells that day, and he made a little step forward through breaking through his trauma. Now Shizuka, this girl gets worse and worse every single day. Holy smoke, she's going mentally insane. She's like, people are dying, and she's like, yeah, dude, she's gonna set up someone innocent to go in jail in her stead, and she's like, yeah, dude. She killed her like step siblings, and she's like, yeah, dude, yeah, over a dog, bro, over a dog. Now I understand, because that dog meant everything to her. That was like her only lifeline, and I understand that. But that is insane. That is going too far. And then the one that helps you, when they're not useful anymore, you're going to throw a rock at them. She picked up a rock and she went, and then we got a flashback to alternate timeline. And in that alternate timeline flashback, we see what started the events of the manga and anime. Basically, in the first original timeline, Takopi met Marina, and she was in high school and her life was going great. And then Mr. Simp trauma bond dude went after the other girl because he trauma bonded harder with her. And then Mama, who was even more traumatized because she smacked her, she cut her daughter, tried to kill her because she's crazy. And then Marina kills her mom, and then she's like, damn, I should have just killed the girl. And then bro's just like, yeah, I'm gonna go back, not bro, I'm just gonna call him bro. Takopi goes back in time. He's like, yo, I'm gonna kill this motherfucker. And then boom, super back in time, but forgot all of its memories. So basically restarting from blank slate, which is shambles. Then we head back to the present timeline. Takopi has all of its memories back, and Shizuka beats the crap out of him. But Takopi lets her do it. He lets her beat the crap out of it and vent to Takopi, because Takopi knows that that's what she needs right now. And they just go lollygagging around the place, eating bread, spending yen on a swing. And then Takopi's like, yo, so my camera's broken. But what I can do through the power of like friendship and camera and sacrificing, ultimate sacrifice, something like that, I don't know, a special power move Takopi used, the camera can work one last time, and the beginning events of the anime / manga happen. But then for some reason, the past is just like changed for no reason, and like glimpses of their memory is there. Like Marina thinks about like the flower that Shizuka wore because Takopi was with her. And then Azuma is just like, yo, I had a fight with my brother, and apparently he sucks at games, which he didn't know until episode 5 or 4. Yeah, episode 4. So then the question is like, what happened? If the events should have stayed the same, how did he get into a fight with his brother yesterday when the camera reversed back to today? So how does that make sense, bro? So they had the little conversation, but it was a little bit different because he said he won't share. He found out that information, but the thing is, he didn't find out that information till episode 4, which happened after, the stuff with Takopi and the camera. And then when Takopi reversed the camera, apparently they got in a fight yesterday before the events of the camera even took the picture of the place. So that doesn't make any sense. Alright, so looking back at it, I'm I'm stupid. The next day happened. So it's actually the day that the photo was taking place. That's probably when it happened. That still doesn't make any sense, but I'm gonna fix that. Anyways, he yaps about having a PlayStation 4, and all the kids are like, whoa, you're so cool. I want to be friends with you and hang out. And then he's like, oh, these guys need me. They want me. I mean, they're using him for his PlayStation 4, but I mean, he's fixated on the other kids now and not Shizuka. So I guess that's a W for him. And then we get to, oh my god, it's probably the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. Marina is beating up Shizuka, and her notebook happens to fall on a page where there is a drawing of Takopi in it, and she looks at it and they both acknowledge it, and then they just like have a brain blast, and then they talk about Takopi, and then all of a sudden, like, they just like, oh, okay, we share that in common, this stupid flying freaking squid. We're gonna be like chill now. Oh my goodness, how did that happen? Why? Like, genuinely, I don't know what the author was thinking, and I don't know why the anime studio didn't change that, because how was that a good resolution to the plot and the themes of the story? The purpose and idea of this story is understanding, and that's what it was building up to. These kids have trauma that they got from their parents, the past, okay, but they shouldn't let that define them now. And that's what the idea is that the story was building up to. There was going to be a resolution to this conflict about them understanding each other and coming together, right? But then what happened? They saw a picture, and Mr. Squidman teleported back in time, and boom, that solved everything. That is not how it should have gone, in my opinion. There should have been some talking, some resolution, some sharing of the ideas. Like, Takopi, he learned of both of what Shizuka and Marina were going through. Now that Takopi got their memories back, right? And Takopi could have used that to help be a resolution, but no, nothing. Or they could have just resoluted themselves through plot. I don't know how. I'm not a writer, but like, they could have done that. My problem with this ending is that there was a blueprint to make this ending so good, and it was not used. And that blueprint is episode 478 of Naruto is what it means to have a resolution in the story. Naruto and Sasuke have been at odds with each other ideology this whole anime, and this one moment they get to just sit there and talk, acknowledge each other's past, acknowledge the hurt that they've been through, and eventually acknowledge each other. But that wasn't always the case. In their first conflict, their ideologies clashed with their actions. Naruto and Sasuke were hypocrites. They could not understand each other because they could not fully understand what their ideals were. Naruto told Sasuke he got this strong through the power of friendship, with his friends helping him by his side to get stronger. But in their battle, Naruto uses his enemy, the nine-tailed fox, the thing that has kept him isolated for so long, to get the upper hand on Sasuke. While Sasuke is a liar. He thinks that solitude is the best option to get his revenge on Itachi and to get stronger. In the end, he could never sever the one true bond he had. Naruto throughout his journey finally learned what it meant to lose. He understood Sasuke. He understood what it meant to have someone you love stripped away from you. And because of that, he was able to understand Sasuke. But Sasuke wasn't able to understand Naruto. And throughout Sasuke's journey, he's understood Naruto. More and more, he's isolated himself from his team, from his past, from the Leaf. And eventually, he thought that the answer was to isolate himself as the sole enemy of the world, all alone. He would govern, he would rule, because he has the power to, all alone, all by himself. But all Sasuke can see is the end goal, not the pain and hurt that the loneliness led to. He cannot understand the hurt that isolation caused Naruto. He only sees the future, the promise, the end goal, this idea, this illusion of a grander world if he is isolated and all alone. Their second fight is different, however. Naruto acknowledges and understands Sasuke, whereas Sasuke only acknowledges Naruto. He doesn't yet understand what Naruto has been through, and that's what makes this episode so important. When they can sit down and talk, Sasuke can finally learn and understand Naruto, why he is the way he is, why his loneliness affected him to such a degree, and why he wants to fix the shinobi world in the way that he does. Shinobi are not tools, they're humans. That's the first thing Naruto learns in this series, and he wants to apply that to the shinobi world. Where Sasuke doesn't understand that, he sees himself as a tool meant to be used to bring the shinobi world together. But Naruto brings that down. He tells Sasuke that he is a human being, and that he should join him to bring world peace, not as a tool, but as a human. Now, they should have done that for Takopi's original sin. Two people overcoming the past, the trauma of the past, like how Naruto and Sasuke managed to overcome the curse of Asura and Indra. Destiny said that they were meant to clash. One was meant to kill the other, or they both kill each other. But in the end, both of them lived, and both of them managed to bring greater peace to the shinobi world. Now, this is a much smaller scale, but the two of them, Marina and Shizuka, should have come together and somehow put their differences aside to overcome the past, their projection, their trauma, what they were dealing with, loss. And Takopi could have been the mediator for that. But instead, we get a drawing of a book. Yeah, nice blue balling there, Busta. Now, is that to say this anime is garbage? Of course not. It's beautiful. Even the first like half of episode 6 is absolutely breathtaking. And even the last like 10 minutes, the animation is still gorgeous, beautiful, and everything. The art direction. It's just that ending is hot garbage. That it makes me question, what was I even watching? Why did you give me such a good anime just for it to end in such a awful way? And that is the biggest anime blue ball in the history of me watching anime. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. I'm gonna go punch my chair again.